Hi guys, welcome to this Yoga Fit session. Now today we're going to be focused on doing a little weighted workout, and it's going to be quite a gentle one, nothing too strenuous. So what I'm going to do is encourage you to go and find something that's weighted within your home. So it might be that you have some little disc weights like I have here today, or it may be that you've got some dumbbells, and if you don't have some of those sorts of things, you can even find things at home. So you just need two items that have a little bit of weight to them and are of equal weight. So maybe you've got two water bottles that you could put equal amounts of water in. Maybe you could even grab, I don't know, a can of beans. Just make sure that the contents are the same weight. And that's all you're going to need for today. And don't worry, it's going to be quite a nice little gentle sequence to just get you maybe started with a bit of weighted workout. Now, I think it's really, really important to team your yoga with different styles of exercise and workouts. So this is going to be a nice one to start off with if you've maybe never done something before, or maybe if you just need something a little bit more gentler this week. So grab yourself some weights or something weighted and let's get started. So firstly, as with pretty much all of the Yoga Fit sessions, I will warm you up. Sometimes I suggest some movements and things that you can do yourself, but today I'm going to give you a little warm-up sequence just to kind of get the heart rate going, getting it a little higher, and starting to kind of warm the body, prepare the muscles in the body for a little bit of working out. So really, really simple. We're just going to start with marching on the spot. Now, as you march, I want you to be thinking about standing up nice and tall. It's really easy to kind of do this, just stepping. I don't want you to be just stepping. I want you to be standing up nice and tall, and I want it to be a march. So stand up nice and tall, and then I want you to be focusing on driving the legs up. So the movement is not stepping them down, it's rather about driving those knees up. And it feels a little different, but also looks like a march. So focus on driving the legs and the knees up into the air. Now, if you want to take that a little slower, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't have to be a fast movement. It can be slow and controlled. If that helps you to get that movement really nice and strong and driving the legs up. Now, you'll probably start to feel it through the fronts of the legs. So let's make sure we are getting all areas. So now I want you to step back into almost a little lunging posture, and I want you to just do some little lunge pulses. They don't have to be super low, they could be a little higher for this little warm up, and then swap over to the other leg. And just some little kind of fast-paced lunges, little dips. And then step the legs back in. Come back to that marching. And hopefully you can feel the legs are nice and warm and you can feel the muscles starting to work. So let's get the arms involved, because we're going to do quite a few things where we're obviously holding muscles. We're holding the muscles in a nice taut, tight position as we're lifting the weights with our hands. So we want to make sure we've got the muscles on the upper body nice and warm as well. So what you're going to do is step the legs wide and you're going to reach to the sides. And as you're doing that, just make sure you're drawing the belly in towards the spine. And make sure you're still breathing. Really, really important to work on your breath work as you work out as well. Breath work isn't just for yoga. It's most definitely going to support you in any fitness or exercise that you do. Come back to that marching. Take a nice big breath in. Reach the arms up. Breathe out, reach them higher. Take a breath in. Breathe out, lower them down. Amazing. Give the body a little shake, a little shimmy. And then from here, I just want us to work on just stretching out a few of the areas that we're going to do. So we're going to work on a little bicep curl. We're going to work on how we can transition that into a push press. And we're also going to do a little bit of weighted lower leg exercises as well. So we'll do a little bit on some lunge options that you can kind of customize and work with where your fitness level is and what feels right for your body. So let's stretch out through the arms a little bit. So I want you to reach the arms up overhead. Take a bend through your right elbow and then bring your left palm on the top of that elbow. And what you can do is you can just help draw that back. Now again, try and make sure that the ribs are drawn in and you're drawing the belly towards the spine. I mean, it's very tempting to kind of go into this expanded ribs position. So I have to keep reminding myself. So from the back, this is kind of how it's looking. I'm reaching towards the shoulder blades. I'm just getting a nice stretch coming down through the arm, the upper arm. We're going to swap over, so reach both the arms back up. This time take a bend at the left elbow, and then the right palm's going to come onto that left elbow. And again, I can help just assist reach that hand a little bit lower on the back. So we're not forcing it, but we're just applying a bit of pressure to just increase that stretch a little bit. It could be a really tiny amount of pressure. Amazing. Reach the arms back up and down. And this time you're going to interlace the fingers behind you and just reach the arms behind, getting a little more into the front of the chest. So the chest becomes much more open here as you reach behind. So stretching out through that chest. And then we're going to take this move in the opposite direction. So unleash the fingers and then take them out in front of you. You're going to press the hands away, so the palms are coming towards you. And then you're going to round out through the shoulders and look down through your arms. And this is going to open out through the back and the shoulders a little bit more. So we're kind of reversing that move that we just did. Amazing. Let go of the fingers. And then from here, we just want to have a little bit of stretch in the legs as well. So you can bring your hands onto your hips if you want to, and also feel free to hold on to something. So if you want to take hold of something, because we're going to be kind of coming onto one leg, so if your balance sometimes is an area that you're kind of working on, bring your hand onto something, feel free to hold on to something, it's absolutely fine. So the move that we're going to do is we're going to take a bend into the right knee basically, and we're going to extend the left leg out. So firstly, take your feet to about shoulder width distance, take a bend through both legs, and then take the weight over to that right foot as you extend the left foot. And then you can start off with bringing that foot down and then just kind of equalize the weight between both feet. If you need to step them a little further away, wider, that's absolutely fine. You could kind of step them so that you could almost fit like a plank of wood between them. And the body's coming forwards over, because if you were standing up straight here, it probably isn't going to help too much with your balance, but also it's quite an odd posture. So this is going to help to stretch out the legs a little. And then what you can do is change the stretch by lifting up the toes of the left foot, and then that will take the stretch all the way through the back of the leg now. Again, belly drawn into the spine, and make sure you're still breathing nice and fully. Now, I talk a lot about making sure you're still breathing. Obviously, breathing is automatic. However, sometimes we hold the breath, and sometimes we're not breathing fully, and we're not really capitalizing on making sure we're giving our body lots of oxygen. So it's super, super important that you're fueling yourself with oxygen all the time, especially when you're exercising or doing yoga. Right, step that leg back in, and we're going to swap onto the other side, but just for a moment, give the right leg a little shimmy, because it's been holding possibly a little bit more weight through that exercise. And then again, we're going to take that nice little bend through the knees, take the weight over onto the left leg this time, extend the right out in front of us. Again, if you want to take the feet a little bit wider for balance, that's fine. Bring the hands onto the hips, and you're just pausing there, bring the body forwards, still drawing that belly in towards the spine. So just pausing here for a moment, making sure you're breathing nice and fully into the belly. So as you breathe in, expanding the belly. As you breathe out, contracting the belly. And then starting to lift the right toes up, increasing, changing that stretch now through the back of this leg. So it comes all the way down through the back of this calf muscle. You can really kind of feel it through here. And just making sure, obviously the higher up you are, the less that stretch will be. So as you kind of pull forwards, it actually elongates these muscles through here and stretches out a little bit further. Lower that foot down, step it back in, and then let's come back to some marching just to re-elevate our heart rate a little. So we're driving the knees up. That's what we want to be doing. We're not just plodding, we're really active through the legs, and the arms can get involved. One, so that they're nice and active, but two, also kind of helps with that movement, helps to make it a little stronger, help you sort of commit to it and make it feel like a march. So still the feet, still the arms. We're going to come onto those weights. So whatever weights you've got, whether it's a can of beans, disc weights like mine, or dumbbells, or something else that you've been more inventive to find, you're going to take those. Now I'm encouraging you to go nice and light with these because I want it to be quite a gentle weighted workout for this one. So don't go too heavy. You can always get something heavier if you feel like it's really not working for you. You don't feel like you're getting the muscles working. So you can always increase it. And you can always decrease it, of course, but sometimes it's better off starting a little lighter and then kind of progressing and working up to that, because as we do repetitions, you'll start to get a little tired. So we're going to start off with a basic bicep curl, and I think the main importance when it comes to bicep curls is making sure that your posture is really good, and also making sure that the weight isn't too heavy, because I see a lot of bicep curls that look like this. And for me, you're using the body's momentum to lift that weight. Plus, doing this is not great. It's not really working on that bicep curl in a way that's going to be supportive and help build the muscles. So go a bit lighter and then work your way up to a heavier weight. So first things first, you want to put your feet about hip width distance apart, maybe even a little wider. I'm going to stand to the side so I can show you the full posture that I tend to stand in for this pose to make sure that it is really effective. So you hear me a lot if you come to my classes talking about softening the knees, and that's having a little bend through the knees. Now this is really important so you're not locking out through the joints, but also it adds a little bit of spring. So if you do need to do a little push to get yourself into something, you've got that there. So, but most importantly, it's going to help you to stand in a good position. It's going to help you find your foundations. So feet hip width distance apart or a little wider, a nice little bend through the knees. And then from here, you're going to stand up nice and tall through the upper body. And what we want to be working through is actually lifting these weights, and we're going to take them all the way up to kind of the shoulders, but actually the elbow is staying fixed. So it's not coming like this. The elbow is staying fixed to the side, really allowing the movement to come from the bicep and tricep area. So stand up nice and tall, open the shoulders, and then we're going to do a few repetitions. So lifting both weights at the same time, and you're just keeping the upper body nice and still, the lower body is nice and still, anchored through the feet, with that nice little bend through the knees, helps to keep you nice and still here. You're going to do 2 more. And then lower the weight, straighten the legs. Give the arms a little shake out. If you want to, you can even bring the weights down for a moment, maybe stretch out a little bit through the arms, sometimes getting a little bit of stretching backwards and forwards helps to just stretch out that area a little bit. You may even just want to bring the arms to the side and just rotate through the wrists here a little bit, going into the shoulders and just getting a little bit of stretch. Sometimes I sort of like to open the palms up and then reach around like this, get a bit of stretch into those upper arms. So feel free to do that and get a little bit of stretch moving through the arms. What I'm going to do is, as you're stretching, breathing and pausing for a moment, maybe grabbing a drink, is I'm going to show you how you can then progress that into a push press. So what we're going to do, the movement is going to be a little bit bigger, where we're going to go through a bicep curl, and then we're going to come up, reach up with the arms and take them up above the head. We'll then bring them back in, tuck the elbows in, and then lower lower the arms back down towards the legs. So grab your weights and let's do that together. So again, the same foundations just as we did with the bicep curl, and the same start of the bicep curl. We're just going to progress it slightly differently as we move up to that push press. So feet again about hip width distance apart, elbows tucked in and kind of glued almost towards the hip area. And just making sure you're still breathing. So a really good tip is when you're exerting yourself, when you're pushing that weight possibly up, is actually to breathe out. And by breathing out, it kind of gives you that little bit of energy. If you're trying to push and take a breath in, it can sometimes make it a little bit challenging. So rather fuel yourself with a big breath in, and then as you exert, breathe out and push that breath out as you push the weights up. So again, feet hip width distance apart, nice soft bend through the knees. We're going to come back to that bicep curl, so keep the elbows in. And then we're going to push up and reach up above your head. Now again, the temptation for me is to open up the ribs, so really making sure that you still keep the body nice and tight through the mid portion. Then you're going to lower down, bring the elbows to your sides, and then extend the arms down towards the thighs. So we're going to do about 5 repetitions of this. So we've done our first one, so let's do 4 more. So bring the arms in, push up, then come back down, elbows to the side, and lower to the thighs. You've got 3 more. Lifting up, pushing up, drawing back down, lowering the arms. 2 more. Keep breathing. One more. Big breath out. Amazing. Pop the weights to one side. Again, feel free to stretch through the arms, reach out to the sides maybe, whatever you need to do to kind of give yourself a little bit of stretch and opening through the body. Now this last move that I'm going to be showing you is about lunges, so weighted lunges. Now in some of the previous videos I've shown you some variations with lunges, so this might not be new to you, but it might be the first time that you're actually encouraging yourself to use some weights. So we're actually going to use weights with our lunges, and I'm going to show you a few variations of lunges and how you can do that with your weights. So it's really fairly simple, but it's just again making sure that the posture is really strong, has really strong foundation and again is effective, and that we're not doing things that will not necessarily cheat, but actually compromise because we're tiring. I would rather you did less repetitions or a lower weight and did the exercise in the right way with good form than trying to do more repetitions. It's a bit like yoga, listening in to your body and actually just customizing it to your fitness level. Yes, you can push yourself, but also making sure that the ego doesn't take over too much and then lead you into some poor decisions. So let's now grab our weights again, and we will start with those lunges. So again, you can just keep a nice light weight for this one, so you can practice with the same weight throughout this whole video today. And the great thing about these discs is I can actually just take hold of the sides here, but whatever you've got, you can just literally hold on to them, and you're going to hold them by your sides. So firstly, when it comes to that form, making sure that that's really good with your lunges. So lunges are quite wide, so you're going to step the left foot forward and the right foot back firstly. Now from here, you want to have a nice wide stance with the legs, and then just lift the back foot up off the ground. And again, if you need to step the legs a little wider apart to make sure that you've got more balance, please do that. Hips are facing forward, so they're tracking in the same direction as the knees, and that's super important for knee and hip health. So bring yourself onto your toes or your ball of your foot on the back foot, and what I want you to do is just have a little bend, so that we can firstly get this upper part of our body into kind of quite a straight position rather than leaning forwards or back. I want you to kind of come up through the center here, because when it comes to a lunge, we're actually going to drop straight down. We're not going to come forward and lunge or backwards and lunge. We're actually, with a lunge, coming straight down and bringing our right knee down towards the ground and lifting up. So by just firstly getting the body into a nice tall straight position, that's going to help you with finding that form. So take that moment to just do that. You might get some little wobbles, so again, feel free to have something nearby that you can place your hand onto for those little wobbles. If your balance isn't quite there today, I wobble too, don't worry. And then from here, you've got your weights on either side. Nice open shoulders, so just making sure again your posture isn't kind of curved out through the front here, rounding out through the back. You want to have nice open shoulders, and then we're going to lower down into that lunge. So let's do 2 like this. Step the leg back in, give the legs a little wiggle and a little shake. And then let's do a couple of other variations. So again, step that right leg back, come onto the ball of the foot, and then take a little bend so that you can actually sort of curl the hips up and have a nice straight posture through the upper body. So this time we're going to do a variation where we come down and we pulse just a couple of times and then drive up. And when you're driving up through your lunge, again, you can breathe out and also push through the feet and use the powerful leg muscles to help really drive yourself back up. So don't just use the pressure of the feet, really use the leg muscles, your glutes, to help drive yourself up. So squeeze through those areas and lift yourself back up. Let's do one more of those. So lower down. And just a couple of little pulses, and then squeeze and drive up. Step that leg back in. Again, give the legs a little shimmy, a little shake, a little wobble through the hips, whatever you need to do. And then the last variation has kind of 2 ways of going about it. It's basically slowing it down and then speeding it up. And you can do it in 2 ways. We can power down and slowly raise back up, or we can go down slowly and then power back up. So it's kind of a sort of quick slow or a slow quick. So let's go through those 2 variations. So right leg comes back. So firstly, we're going to do a quick lower and a slow lift back up. So we're going to lower down quickly and then slowly come back up. So you could do the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 counts in total. Let's do 2 more of those. Lower 1, lift 2, 3, 4. 1 more. Lower down 1, 2, 3, 4. Step the leg in, give the legs a little shake out. So the other one is the other way round. So we lower down slowly and then we rise up quickly. So again, step the left leg forwards, right comes back, lift up onto the ball of the foot, keep that torso nice and tall, shoulders nice and open, and this time we're going to lower down slowly. So this time lowering down, 1, 2, 3, lifting up, 1. So let's do that a couple more times, lowering down, 1, 2, 3, lifting up. So again, squeeze through the legs, drive yourself up. So let's do it again, lower down, 1, 2, 3, driving up. One more to go, lower down, 1, 2, 3, drive it up. So there's a few little variations. Obviously we want to now make sure that we do it onto the other side of the leg. So we're going to go back through those, and you can just work on really bringing that form of the upper body and the lower body really strong, and also focusing on really squeezing the legs as you stand back up. So driving through the legs to stand yourself back up. So let's go again through those. So this time you're going to bring the right leg forwards and the left leg's going to come behind. So find that positioning first of all, come onto the toes of that left foot, and then just bring a little bend through that knee so that you can bring kind of a little bit of a tilt through the pelvis and stand up nice and tall. And then from here, we're going to start off with just those lower downs and lifts up. So you're going to lower all the way down, drive and lift up, lower all the way down, drive and lift up. Step the leg in, give the legs a little shake. So the next one that we're going to do those little pulses. So again, step right foot forwards, left foot back. Come onto the ball of the foot, find your positioning, find your balance. Nice tall torso, open chest. And then we're going to lower down, do some little pulses, and then drive back up. One more, lower down, pulses, drive back up. Step the leg in, give the leg a little shake, a little shimmy through the legs, through the hips. Feel free to pause if you want to have a little bit more of a breather, if you want to have a drink, any of those things. And then when you're ready, we're going to come back into that, and this time we're going to do those slow quicks and the quick slows. So let's start off with the quick slow firstly. So a count of 1 down, and then a count of 3 coming back up. So find your nice tall positioning. So we're going to do quick 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step the leg in, give it a little shimmy, a little shake, have a little breather. Hopefully now you've kind of really got into that now. You can really feel it, you can really work with it. And then we're going to swap that round and do a slow lower and a quick lift. So this time you're counting to 3 coming down and 1 coming back up. So when you're driving back up, remember to really squeeze through the legs, squeeze through the glutes as you drive the legs up, much like we were driving the legs up earlier on with the marches. It's again the same concept. You're really lifting up through the muscles of the legs. So right leg forward, left foot back, left heel lifted, preparing the body, standing up nice and tall, opening the chest. So we're going to lower down slowly to the count of 3 and lift up for 1. So when you're ready, lower down for 1, 2, 3, quick lift 1. Going again, 1, 2, 3, lift up. Lowering down 1, 2, 3, lift up. Last one, 1, 2, 3, drive it back up. Step the legs in, give them a little shake, a little shimmy, a little stretch, and again you can pop your weights to one side. So that is us done with this sequence today. What you might want to do is maybe do that through a couple of times. Maybe you want to do some repetitions. It's really customizable for you, so you can go back and watch things back. You can maybe watch some of the upper arm ones through again, maybe repeat some of those. Maybe you want to repeat the legs ones through a couple more times as well. That's the beauty of the membership videos. So thank you so much for joining me for another video. I hope this has given you some new ways of maybe doing some moves that possibly you've been doing before. Maybe you've not tried them out with a weight before, or maybe you actually have learned a couple of tips and tricks for making sure your form is really strong, and actually that you'll get more benefits out of the poses. I truly believe that making sure you're strong, your form is really strong and correct in terms of alignment, then I believe you're going to get better benefits out of it, and you're going to get better muscle tone in your body, but also it's going to protect your body, and that's really, really important for your safety and for your health. So I hope you enjoy this one. Let me know how you get on, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day.